All right, welcome folks to Jimmy and Neil with Problems. Today we're tackling the problem of box fans are nice, but they are too short, which means they get blocked by furniture. They just get absorbed. All the nice, cool air goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, really, really nice. Also, for those of you who have listened to our other episode about the pizza candle, there's an update. It's surprisingly nice. It does smell a little bit like burning plastic, but also oregano. So there's the update. Um,
Perfect.
So, box fans, you had a bunch of box fans in college, right, Neil? You were kind of a box fan connoisseur.
Just one.
You just had
Yes.
one, and so, in your opinion, box fans, one lever is height, right? We get the height.
Yeah. Well, which is the radius of the fan blade, right? Because it's a box.
Yep, 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 yep.
Height is its width.
Radius of fan blade. We've got cooling power, right? How much
Well,
does this thing have?
that's
Oh,
like the mass flow rate, which is based on the radius and the speed, right?
cooling power is determined by height. So, like, kind of everything is just literally just determined by the height of the fan.
Height and the speed and the angle of attack.
Speed and angle of attack. What? So
Yeah,
is
like
there variability?
how no, I mean they should all be pretty much optimized. I would hope, right?
Yeah.
Like think about it, if you just have it where there's no angle of attack and it just spins through the air, it doesn't move any air.
Yep. Or yeah, there's literally no angle. Yeah.
Or the other extreme where it, is completely perpendicular to, its tangential movement, and it just doesn't push the air anywhere. It just, pushes it out of the way.
Yep. So and then
And then
speed.
I'm
Oh, go ahead.
guessing that speed is already optimized as
Yeah.
well, where it's,
Like
this is how we maximize our, you know, longevity of a fan while getting as much, output as possible.
yeah, there's an upper limit here. You can't run your fan at max speed because
Yep.
it'll just it's loud, it's dangerous. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Storage solutions, I think a really simple one was just a taller box fan. And
Now,
yeah,
does that just mean like a really big fan, like those in industrial applications? I don't know if you've seen those, but they're like 4-foot fans that are on wheels, and they wheel them around. They're kind of
yeah.
scary looking.
Yeah, so yeah, just a bigger fan. I guess really that's the thing. Assuming it's a box,
Yeah.
taller means wider. Yeah.
Also, another um lever is like where it is, right? Because furniture
Yeah.
stops, about 3 or 4 feet up from the ground. And if your box fan is on the ground, then it hits that furniture and dissipates. But if it's above above that 3-4 foot level, then it allows the air to go much further.
Yeah, so you could have a bigger in size box fan. I think we kind of cover this with like a stand or a hook on the ceiling. Like
Yeah.
I actually think
You,
that's kind of promising.
you
Although
hang
as a
it.
tall person, I would run into it, which would not be fun.
Well, but like a box fan isn't like, it's not something that you don't see, right? Like
Yeah.
it would come down to like, chest height. So it's, you know, kind of hard to run into in
I
some
mean,
ways.
I run into chandeliers all the time, and those are theoretically like pretty easy
Yeah, but
to
those
see.
are higher than, right? Because
That's
that
true.
doesn't come down to your eye level or lower.
That's true. Sometimes they do, and I still walk into them
Also,
sometimes. But yeah.
box fans have the advantage of mass flow. So as you get closer to it,
Oh, you're
there
right.
should be more mass flow.
Yeah. There's a really tangible indication that you're walking nearer to a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas like a chandelier, there's no like, oh, watch out, you
It's
know.
not loud. It's not blowing air. It's yeah,
Yep. Pole for elevating fans.
yeah.
That's a
Basically,
thing.
a standing fan.
Yeah. Those are nice, actually.
Yeah.
I think this is really interesting. I really am fascinated by Dyson. And I think this whole vertically oriented fan thing they have going on where, it's just literally like, I don't know how it works. I should look into that. But yeah, where it's just like this little vertical pole and it just shoots air out. Like I think it's so smart because basically you get the same like mass flow transfer or cooling power of a box fan. It's just better spread out vertically. Like,
Yeah, you change they, you know, because they're bladeless, they don't need to adhere to, a rotating blade to push it. So they can get the same cross-sectional area in different shape. Um, yes.
I mean, that's a game changer. Like they are just freaking smart. That's actually more of a bright spot, I think, than a solution. Um,
Yeah. Well, I think, there's a huge amount of simplicity with a box fan, right? It's
yes.
a motor with a blade and then a box around it. Whereas like a standing fan, it's a motor, a cage, a blade, and this, equipment to stand it up. And a Dyson, it's got all this, it needs its vortex chamber and its, you know, bladeless blade or whatever they call it, you know,
Yep.
the air spout, it's just more complex.
And more
Um,
expensive, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so I mean, I guess I have some questions. How durable are box fans? Like, is there an
Pretty
advantage
durable.
here that if you drop a box fan, like, is it gonna be fine compared to like dropping a Dyson? I don't really know. Like, how long do box fans last? Like, because if this is a long-term purchase, if this is like a 20-year purchase, I'm getting the Dyson thing.
Well,
Like,
but if the box fan can withstand, 10 drops in its lifetime and the Dyson can withstand one, right? Then a box fan might live 20 years and the Dyson might live 5,
yeah,
right?
these are, I think,
Also, a
yeah.
bright spot is, sort of what box fans are the best for is just putting them in windows because then they're elevated and then they're, pushing air across the temperature differential, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
in
really where they shine best.
yes, in a window because that's a box. Like it just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not gonna throw my Dyson fan up in a window.
no, that doesn't make sense. And that one has to like if it can't fit in a window, you have to find some way to integrate it into your home, and that
Mhm.
can be challenging. I think there's some really interesting passive airflow solutions just in terms of like there's some that don't require electricity at all that literally
Mhm.
we talked about this. What was that problem? It was the air, like temperature is constant.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Talks about cooling solutions based on architectural design,
Mhm.
which I think is really promising.
Yeah. Um, we also have, you know, these these systems already built in our house for moving air around. Um,
Air
that's called
conditioner.
an HVAC system. Um, and we also often have temperature differentials in our houses where our basements are consistently
Hmm.
cold and our upper floors are consistently hot, and depending on the time of year you should be able to, it'd be really nice if your HVAC system could, just move that air around without cooling or heating it.
Yeah, so like shifting air from the basement up in the summer and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Or purposely neglecting the basement in the winter. Like saying,
Yeah.
we're just not going to go in the basement in the winter. So take any heat from there and yank it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a bright spot. They have zonal air condition or zonal, yeah, AC or HVAC systems where instead of the entire house being one zone, you can, have different floors be different zones. So then you can, choose to omit heating the basement during the winter or heat
Really
it just
cool.
just to the point where pipes don't break.
So we don't have anything on
Um,
temperature.
for connections, probably the roofs are hot.
Ooh, that's a great.
That
Yep.
one is sort of similar. Also, oh, the fridges and like, yes, yep.
Yeah, that's an
That's
airflow problem.
a cool air mass flow problem. What if we had fans that, when you opened your fridge, it just blew all the cold air back into it?
That's hilarious. So fans that
Well,
help.
it's, when you walk into an AC building in the summer and they've got the air shower right at the entrance, it'd be the
Yeah.
same idea, to try to create a partition for,
Oh,
so the hot air doesn't come in and the cold air doesn't go out.
I think we need to add that to the fridges waste a lot of energy
Yeah,
problem. Could you
probably
do
at some
that
point.
in the background
Yeah,
right now?
sure.
Because I am going to look at our homegrown natural language processing connector. I need to come up with a good name for this. So for those of you who are listening, I've built a thingamabob that takes in a title and like picks out things that might be related. And so far, this is a hunk of junk. This is not super helpful. Some gems here, some printers have only limited memory, are dumb, and can't print double-sided. That doesn't really sound like this at all. There are no places to
Are you
wait while in
sure?
a car. Not related at all. There's no digital home. Not related. Yep, so kind of a failure on this one. The last problem had a little bit more. I think this is kind of hard. I think box fans is a particular term,
Mhm.
and box is a really general word. It's a
Yeah.
very specific use
Well,
of it.
we also tried something new with this one where we manually
That's
removed
true.
lots of
Ooh, that'd be
words.
fun. What if we put those words back in? So box fans are
How,
nice. What's that?
I wonder how quickly that will
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know that it will
go
happen
through.
fast enough. Let's do our stage ratings real quick then while that's running. So motivation, speed to failure, which is how fast we can fail this idea, and impact. Those are our ratings. Neil, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right, motivation. What do you got?
0.
Yeah, I agree. I'm tempted to put a 1 because California is starting to get hot, but I'm still gonna keep it at 0.
But you're
Speed.
not going to use box fans. It's too hot for
No, I
fans.
know. I'll do AC. Okay, speed to failure.
I give it 2. It's pretty easy to throw a box fan in a window.
I'm gonna give it a 1 because Menards is a long way away.
Yeah.
All right, impacts.
I give a 1.
All right, I'm gonna give a 0
Yeah. No,
because I don't
that
know.
seems like depending on how you slice it, a 0.5 seems just.
Yeah. Okay, so adding those words back in, we get another gem. Flossers are nice but wasteful.
Mhm.
That's actually an interesting. Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know. It's not
it's
bad.
not the worst.
Yeah, we only see writers once they're good. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Box fans are nice but short. That one's really highly rated, surprisingly.
Wow.
Yep.
It's pretty close to itself.
Yeah. So I mean, on this one, that was a total failure. Our
That's
category
okay.
here, I think this is a bud,
Yeah.
maybe in a physical product.
Yeah, and
I think
maybe
that's
a
all I can say.
lacking. Throw a lacking in there
It
too.
is lacking. Yep. So folks, if you have any genius box fan ideas, if you have some interesting ways you cool your home or know of interesting ways people do it, please let us know and reach out. Thank you so much for joining us today. Jimmy and Neil have problems.